Of all the things that we allow to happen in this country, dogs are apparently the worst problem.
Are you breaking the law when you're walking your dog?
I cannot believe this is actually happening. Sniffer dogs are there for a purpose, to sniff out crime, to sniff out terrorists, except if they're Islamic.
Dogs definitely didn't get the memo when we said don't bite the hand that feeds you. Them fuckers will take your fingertips off at any given moment if you've got food in your hand, won't they? That's why I had to stop putting peanut butter on my bell end. I'm now down 2 inches off my knob, which makes me minus 1 inch, which means I've got a vagina.
Oh, Jesus, you scared the hell out of me. You scared the... It's okay.
God looked down on his wide-eyed children and said they need a companion. So God made a dog. God said, I need somebody willing to wake up, give kisses, pee on a tree, sleep all day, wake up again, give more kisses, then stay up until midnight basking in the glow of a television set. So God made a dog.
Tell me this right, people. How long is it gonna take the British government to realise that there needs to be licences for being a fucking dog owner? Alright, because of human rights, there's nothing we can do to make people need a licence to have a semen demon, a kid, right? We can't do out about that. That's just not something we can do out about. But we can do something about absolute fucking imbeciles owning dogs. I mean, if you don't know how to keep your own dog and other people's dogs safe, then you shouldn't be owning one, should you? If you don't know what constitutes your common sense and decency and empathy does not tell you what constitutes being a good dog owner and being a shit dog owner, you shouldn't own a dog. I worship my dog, right? And when I see the standard of living she has, and I'm not talking about money, I'm not talking about things that cost money, I'm talking about time, affection, effort, taking good care of her, taking care of her health and well-being and her mental well-being.
Welcome to Blighty Blighted, your daily reminder that in the United Kingdom, or Blighty as we used to call it, things feel like they're drifting a bit. Now I saw something the other day, a programme on the BBC having a go at British dog owners. Dogs off leads, they said. Bad behaviour, they said. Now hold on a moment. For decades, part of life here was exactly that. A dog, a park, a bit of fresh air off the lead having a run about. It wasn't chaos, it was normal. This little chap's got more manners than half the people I see rushing about in supermarkets. And suddenly now, we're told it's a problem. That everything needs tightening, regulating, correcting. At this rate, you'll need a permit for a game of fetch. Here's the thing. Every country has its ways, its habits, its culture, its little unwritten rules. And generally speaking, people adapt to where they live. That's how it works. But it feels lately like instead of confidence in those traditions, there's a lot of second guessing, a lot of overthinking, a lot of telling people that ordinary behavior is somehow wrong.
Whoa, he actually understands.
Yeah, it took a while, but he's getting pretty good at it now.
Make him do another one.
Ryan, what do you want to say? Use your buttons.
I don't like the long-haired guy. When you leave the room, he makes me lick peanut butter off his tiny little...
I guess he doesn't know what the buttons mean after all.
Why is he saying that? Try again, Ryan. What are you telling us?
No, don't bother me. He's obviously just standing on random buttons.
He likes it when I bark at his naked, deformed body.
Why is there a button for deformed? That's mental.
He said he's more of a cat guy, but he does still fancy me.
What? I don't fancy him.
Why don't you fancy my dog?
No, I don't know. He's alright, I suppose.
What else does he do?
No, don't bother.
Sometimes he puts my collar on and gets into my crate and tells me we're switching role and gets me to phone up and sort his car insurance while he eats kibble from my bowl and licks his own asshole.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
It's annoying sorting out your insurance.
So I'm sure most people know about microchipping and how it's a legal requirement, but did you know the Control of Dogs Order 1992 requires your dog to have a tag on at all times when you're out in public, and on that tag should be the owner's name and address. There is no legal requirement for the phone number to be on there, or of course the dog's name, but it is a legal requirement to have the owner's name and address. So if you've got a dog, if you're thinking of getting a dog, or if your dog's got a tag, check it and make sure that you are abiding by that legislation, otherwise you could get a fine of up to £5,000.
Hey, I'm no nuts!
This is the police appeasing the leftists again. Yeah, appeasing the leftists again.
I'm not a Nazi. Looking at me for calling to breach of peace. What, just for calling for saying I don't want to be called a Nazi? You should be allowed it.
It's a control tactic, so you can't say or do anything.
Just keep on going round.
It's to protect the leftists.
Absolutely. What do you mean, Ruler? How pathetic are you?
From the British, we love you!
You're not going that way. Excuse me. Guys, two of you, please.
The BBC in England, the great almighty BBC, have released an anti-dog propaganda piece, basically saying that we should slow down on loving our dogs so much. Probably, and we definitely know why, because of all of the immigration and all of the people from the third world who don't like dogs. And us people in Britain have to change our ways for them entirely. No. Let me tell you, on behalf of all British people, I would take a three-legged, blind dog. With many other problems, I don't care. I would take a three-legged blind dog over 1 million boat people every single day of the week, twice on Sundays. Thank you very much.
So me and Oscar and a friend went to a coffee shop today and we saw this lovely dog, and it was a Cane Corso XL Bully Cross, and it made me so sad to see her wearing a muzzle. I know this is now the UK law, but I actually don't agree with it, and I think it is the owners that make a dog bad, not the breed that makes them bad, if that makes sense. For me, some of the worst dogs are the small dogs, because them owners are irresponsible, like even Dachshunds, Chihuahuas, them sort of yappy dogs. I feel like owners think that they're small and they don't need to train them. This might be controversial, but I think they should have a muzzle on too, or should have some sort of guidelines, because why are big dogs getting bullied? I know they do more damage, but little dogs do more psychological damage, because my dog, Oscar, is a big dog and he hates small dogs. He's not aggressive to them, he's just wary of them, and that is because they always yap in his face.
So apparently we're becoming too dog friendly as a country. We got to stop it. Just watch this.
Are we all becoming too dog friendly? From coffee shops, restaurants and retailers like IKEA, Zara and John Lewis, dog friendly spaces are becoming easy to come by.
Yeah, and there's a reason for that, because we love our dogs, don't we? We are a country of dog lovers, and that is not going to change.
The rise of these dog friendly spaces is a concern.
And who, may I ask, might be finding this too much? Is it a certain ideology, possibly, because they don't like dogs? I don't know who these people are.
Are we all becoming too dog friendly? From coffee shops, restaurants and retailers like IKEA, Zara and John Lewis, dog friendly spaces are becoming easy to come by. There are 13.5 million pet dogs in the UK, and 36% of households own at least one dog. But people who are allergic to dogs or afraid of them say that the rise of these dog-friendly spaces is a concern. One woman with the extreme fear of dogs told the BBC that she feels trapped and only goes out on special occasions due to the lack of dog-free zones. She's one of the many seeking support in online groups who offer advice on how to avoid them. But a coffee shop owner whose brand is underpinned by the dogs says that they're part of the family. What do you think? Has it all gone a bit too far?
The BBC, the Labour government's propaganda machine, will push any agenda other than actually sorting this country out. And now they are going to come after your dogs. And that will be a big mistake. Do not fuck with the British people and their dogs. There has been so much noise lately about dog-free zones, not making places dog-friendly, and people that apparently have allergies or fears of dogs. This has always been the case, so why? Why is this only a problem now? There is a very easy solution to those problems. Don't go near the dogs. Honestly, give your head a wobble. We have many more pressing matters in the UK right now than people's dogs. Let me know what you think of this in the comments.
If you're a dog owner here in the UK, I'm urging you to share this message because it affects you all. Sadly, I lost my two beautiful girls, Coco and Peanut, a couple of years ago in horrific circumstances caused by an aggressive dog that was off a lead. The full story I've posted at the top left on my bio and I urge you to watch it, but be warned it does contain some graphic descriptions. I'm desperately trying to help other dog owners out there so they don't have to go through what I have because it's been truly devastating. And my message is very simple. If you own a dog that's even remotely aggressive towards other dogs, then you must keep it next to you on a lead at all times. If you have a dog that does not have bulletproof recall, then you must keep it on a lead. It doesn't matter how small or harmless you think your dog is, that you should not let it invade the space of other owners and their dogs because you do not know what reaction it could trigger. Allowing your dog to run over can easily trigger fight or flight reactions in some nervous dogs, and the consequences can be absolutely devastating. Please be a responsible dog owner and please help me share this message. Thank you.
How Doreen was fiercely protective of her three lovely Yorkies. So we sent along our dog warden to confiscate them. Here's Doreen's dogs. Here's Doreen.
Where did you get in there? Oh, I've got a set of keys now.
Here comes our council man.
What?
Tom's just got to get the Rottweilers and we can be off. These the brats?
Yep.
Who are you? You're the owner what of? Of the dog. Oh, you're Mrs. Mousel, is it? Yeah. Mousel? Mousel. Mousel? Yeah, so you're responsible for this, are you? There were 2 letters of complaint sent in from people on the estate.
Only 2?
Only 2, yes.
Yeah, it's got your report, screw it up, stuff it up.
All I want is a signature on your dog.
says. You're taking a look at because you're a woman, that's what it is. You're the first one to moan it.
Don't treat me like one. Treat me like a man. One on you.
Come on. Huh? Yeah. Go say hi, Shadow. Shit, man. Come on.
Another baby killed by a dog. Now, I don't care what kind of dog it is. I don't care what kind of breed it is. I don't care if it's a Staffy. I don't care if it's an XL Bully. I don't care what the breed of dog is. It's a dog. It's an animal. Whether you think your little sweetheart will never harm a hair on another soul's body, you don't know that. They are bred to have animalistic instincts. The power of a dog's jaw alone should not be underestimated, let alone their unpredictability. It makes my blood boil. Like, honestly, it really does. This is why I don't like them. This is why I don't like dogs. They are far too powerful to be in the hands of anyone. And that's why I don't think it's right to have a dog. I think you should be licensed, and I think the dog should be registered. You should have to go through some sort of training to know that you can handle that dog and that that dog is trained to listen to your voice commands. If not, you shouldn't be responsible for a weapon. Because with a jaw, with that amount of power and speed that some dogs have, it's a weapon. Every time I click on Facebook, there's another dog attack. A baby was taken from their mother's arms and killed by a dog. I wouldn't even like to know what I would do in that situation.
The BBC is now pushing anti-dog propaganda. Let's take a look at it. Here we go.
Are we all becoming too dog friendly? From coffee shops, restaurants and retailers like IKEA, Zara and John Lewis, dog friendly spaces are becoming easy to come by. There are 13.5 million pet dogs in the UK, and 36% of households own at least one dog. But people who are allergic to dogs or afraid of them say that the rise of these dog-friendly spaces is a concern. One woman with the extreme fear of dogs told the BBC that she feels trapped.
If you have a fear of dogs that's so bad that you can't go outside, you should just be institutionalized. Like, it's an unreasonable expectation to want the world to conform around you. And if it's so debilitating that you can't even go and leave your house, then they should just put you in a padded room or something. Like, that way you don't, like, nothing bad happens to you.
And only goes out on special occasions due to the lack of dog-free zones. She's one of the many seeking support in online groups who offer advice on how to avoid them. But a coffee shop owner whose brand is underpinned by the dog says that they're part of the family. What do you think? Has it all gone a bit too far?
So people are really mad about this because they think that this is a psyop that's being pushed by them trying to normalize Islamic behavior, right? Islamic tradition. Because obviously, like, I mean, a lot of people that are Islamic are not fans of dogs. And so they see this and it's like, okay, well, now these people are trying to get rid of our dogs. It's obvious. Well, that's, in my opinion, so I have like a little bit more of a nuanced opinion about this. But, again, like the thing is that, like, I actually hate whenever I see dogs in restaurants. I think it's I don't want any dogs in a restaurant unless it is an accessibility animal, right? A disability animal. Like, I have no problem with somebody who's blind that has their dog with them. I don't think anybody cares about that. But overall, I don't want to see a dog in a okay, it's disgusting. Lucid Cloud gave 200 oh, that's a lot of subs. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I hope you're enjoying the stream. And never feel like you guys have to sub, by the way. Never feel like you have to. You know, again, I have no real benefits for people that subscribe or anything like that. And the reason why is because I don't want people to feel like they have to or need to. I want you guys to know that and just keep it in mind. But, you know, I just want to make sure everybody knows that. Yeah, it's time to ban the donor. No, yeah, don't ever feel like you have to give subs or anything like that. And am I gifted? I don't know. And playing Skyrim again? No, of course not. Trained dogs are good. Untrained dogs? No, it's not about untrained. I don't want to have an animal running. I don't want to have an animal present whenever I'm eating at a restaurant. I find it to be unhygienic. That's it. I find it to be unhygienic, and I don't think that it's necessary. I think it's weird that somebody is going to bring a dog into a restaurant. I don't want to have it happen. And if everybody did that, then you'd probably have the dogs interacting with each other, and it would be chaos. I don't want to see that happen. And
sorry? We don't have dogs in here. No, but she's a working dog. She's clearly. I'm about to interrupt. There's people that. You don't have to interrupt. Don't I? No. What's your name, please? My name's, I don't need to tell you my name. You do? No, I don't. You do when you're questioning someone. I'm head of security. You're head of security. Right, so can I speak to your floor manager, please? If there's one in, you can. So in the meantime, can I have a look at your, No. No? No. What's your name? Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you. You can call the police if you'd like. And in the meantime, do you want to go stand in the foyer? No. No? No. Okay. Call a manager, please. You have broken the law. I tell you what, are you recording me? Yes. Don't grab my phone. Don't record me, okay? I have a legal right to record you. I have a legal right to record you. I'm in a public place. I do. Do you like me to record you? You have every right. You're already recording me. Would you like me to do that to you? You're already recording me. Would you like me to do that Please to you? Get over me. I am now. Please, can you get over me, please? No, stop recording me. You're hurting my back. Am I? You are. Stop recording me. I'm not. I think you're with me. Thank you so much.
If I could get a tattoo across my forehead, it would be this comment. It reminds me so much of my master's dissertation that I did, and it was called Fashion versus Function. And it was like something like 90% of people chose their dog based on cuteness aspect or trends. Obviously, with social media being a huge one. Put it down into little bits, so a lot was obviously trends in general, like Daxies and stuff, but a lot was trainers. And out of that 90%, 60% that they debated rehoming their dog and would consider not getting one of the same breed or same driviness. Honestly, bring back critical thinking, because we're a generation of, not even just a generation, just people now want the instant gratification of getting something cute or trendy they see online and then getting it and being like, what do I do with it? Ultimately does fall down on those that promote that. Hugely agree with the part saying dog licensing, because it was around in the 70s, 80s, like when my parents were growing up, it was around. Why we got rid of it is just baffling to me. They think it would help with the whole mass overpopulation of dogs, obviously both in kennels, in rescue, and at home where they're not really wanted, but they feel like they've got to be kept. They went about dog licensing the right way. It would ensure that all the owners were capable and fit to have a dog in general, never mind a dog as drivey as a Mallee.
Britain is a nation of dog owners and dog lovers, so why am I seeing so much negative stuff about dogs in the media at the minute? First of all, the Daily Mail released a list of about 67 breeds of dog. And I think it was something to do with breeds that could look at being banned or something in this country. Then I see the Green Party have come out with this statement that they think anyone who owns a dog should have a licence. This is just ridiculous. So at the end of the day, I'm going to say what most people are probably thinking. We get it. Your mates don't like dogs. But your mates make up 6% of the population of this country. So I honestly don't give a fuck. Because we are perfectly allowed to own dogs. Dogs are a massive part of people's families. If you've ever owned a dog and you've ever lost a dog, then you will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not some throwaway thing that you just have just because. Some people don't deserve to own them, and that's part and parcel of humanity, unfortunately. Some people are just fucking pricks, and that is the way it goes. There's not really any such thing as a dangerous dog breed. There's strong dog breeds. There's breeds of dog that are bred for hunting, things like that. It's in their DNA. But remember this, when you get a dog as a puppy, it is your job to train that dog to do the right thing. If you train that dog to do the wrong thing, it will do the wrong thing. If you don't train the dog, it will behave as a pack animal. It will do whatever it feels to do naturally. This is not a problem with dogs. This is a problem with one thing and one thing only, that certain people in this country don't like them. Well, as I said in my previous statement, I don't give a fuck. This is a nation of dog lovers and dog owners. If you don't like it, there's plenty of other nations to go to, and that goes for all the fucking idiots in the Green Party, all the people who come up with the list of the 67 dogs that was in the Daily Mail. If you don't like it, fuck off.
Lead walking problems? Today what we're going to do is show you how to work with your own dog to stop that pulling, stop that arm ache, how to get them under control and to walk to your side. So anytime you feel any pressure on that lead, what you want to do is just let them get to the end and correct themselves. So, no, guide her back by walking backwards, bringing it to your side, good. And what we want to do is reward for walking close to us. If she starts to pull ahead, just stop. Make her do the hard work. Make her come back to you. Come here. Walk. Good. Good. Nope. So what you'll notice is I'm doing a shorter lead each time, just because what I'm trying to do is narrow her down to where I want her, which is at my heel. Nope. What I'm doing is walking backwards so she's naturally going to spin for me and walk where I want her to. Now, what I'm looking for is engagement from her. I'm looking for her to look at me. Good. Nope. Nope. Spin. Good. Abby, turn. Good. Yes. Keeping nice and close to that heel. Bear in mind she should be walking at your pace, not you at theirs. So if I slow it down, bring her back into that spin. If I keep it slower, I expect the dog to be slower. Nope. And just keep going till she realises where she should be. All she wants to do is go ahead. She's not getting to go ahead if she's not focused on me. Focus brings the dog to listening to you, walking nicely. If they're not focused on you, they're not going to listen. All she wants to do is get to where she's going 10 times quicker. So instead of letting her do that, what I'm doing is showing her, you're going at my pace, you're going at my speed, good. And we're rewarding that looking at me with positive words, yes or good. Nice quick one-worders. Good.
Just did a short video a little while ago, and it was in regards to having your dog off lead in a park, out of control, with no recall. And I'm talking about UK law here, and I'm talking about your dog running up into people. And did you realise the law actually states, although your dog doesn't actually bite that person, as long as the person reasonably believes that they could be bitten or could be attacked by your off-lead dog, and after they've asked you to put it on lead and you fail to do so, you're actually in breach of the law. Your dog is out of control in a public place, they feel fear and alarm, and believe it or not, as I said, the dog doesn't even actually have to bite them. The very fact that they're put into a state of alarm and a state of fear, you've just committed the offence. Why put your dog in that position, folks? If somebody asks you to put your dog on a lead in a public place, they are quite within their rights to take whatever appropriate action they deem necessary to protect themselves after they have spoken to you. Yet, you feel it necessary to turn round and give the same old excuse, it's okay, he just wants to say hello. There are people out there who are generally frightened of dogs, scared of dogs. They have a phobia of dogs. They're entitled to walk freely without fear and alarm, without your dog bounding up to them, running rings round them, because that's what some of them do, or even jumping up on them. So keep your dog safe. There are dogs getting put into rehoming centres because people have no control. There are dogs getting put down because they have run up and jumped upon somebody because their owners have no control, they have no recall, they're in a public place and they fail to take action in regards to that person's or people's request. Guys, keep your dog safe. Act responsible. Keep your dog on a lead if it has no recall. Work on it. Build a relationship, build a bond. Don't make the life short just because you're irresponsible. And get your dog back with a good recall. Recall, come here. Uber, come here. Good. Good. Let's go.
Well, this is one example of staff being overruled and prisoners being appeased simply because they complain, and it doesn't matter what your religious beliefs are, they should never ever override security, particularly in a separation centre which houses some of the most dangerous criminals that are in the system.
So how can this be allowed to stand? We hear all the time about two-tier justice, but none of us thought for a moment it would mean the right to deny being accessed by a sniffer dog.
It's been allowed to happen because a management committee that oversees the regimes and the conditions in separation centres have overruled staff, and they've decided to take those complaints on board and disband the dogs from sniffing prisoners when they're getting searched. It's ridiculous, it's appeasement, and it needs to stop. Things need to change, and we're hoping that this independent review that's been commissioned by the government will look into all these issues, listen to the staff on the front line and put things right.
Now, Mark, I'm no Sherlock Holmes, but if you have an exemption from a sniffer dog, it stands to reason that's a route to criminality. It stands to reason they'll be more likely to be shipping drugs into a nick.
Well, it's not the only example, unfortunately, Martin, because you have volumetric control, or supposed to have volumetric control in prison cells, especially in separation centres, to stop people holding too much property in their cells. And there was one cell on that unit that had over 120 books. Now, how do you search a cell when there's over 120 books? And imagine what can be hidden in those books. In fact, the shelves were creaking under the strain. That's another example of staff on a unit being overruled and prisoners being appeased.
How can this... I mean, I can't believe we're even having this conversation. I think people watching this will just be headbutting their tables and chewing their chair legs. How has this been allowed to happen?
Because we've got people in the service who are too fluffy, listen to prisoners instead of doing the right thing by staff. Staff are up for the right thing. They wanted the unit to run properly like it did when it first opened at Frankland. It was the flag bearer of separation centres, and over time prisoners have been appeased by this management committee.
Morning people, how are we all? Question for you. Do you own a dog? I own a dog, love my dog to bits. I put my dog in a couple of my videos previously. He's 4 and a bit years old, and he's very much a part of the family. We wouldn't be without him. But there seems to be a growing agenda against dogs. There seems to be a growing push to say that they are a problem, a push to stop them being in public spaces, a push to monitor where they can go, control where they can go. Why has that come about? Well, I'll leave you to draw your own conclusions. Watch these two video clips. One is from the BBC. It's a BBC News article. And one is a female commentator who is on GB News. Just watch and listen to what they have to say.
Are we all becoming too dog friendly? From coffee shops, restaurants and retailers like IKEA, Zara and John Lewis, dog friendly spaces are becoming easy to come by. There are 13.5 million pet dogs in the UK and 36% of households own at least one dog. But people who are allergic to dogs or afraid of them say that the rise of these dog friendly spaces is a concern. One woman with the extreme fear of dogs told the BBC that she feels trapped and only goes out on special occasions due to the lack of dog-free zones. She's one of the many seeking support in online groups who offer advice on how to avoid them. But a coffee shop owner whose brand is underpinned by the dogs says that they're part of the family. What do you think? Has it all gone a bit too far?
We've got a problem. It's actually it's a lot about the national parks and getting people out there and making national parks for everybody. And one of the problems is dogs. And actually, this isn't just about the fact that a lot of Muslims find dogs very difficult. It is about people who do not know how to control their dogs.
Why do Muslims find dogs difficult?
Because a lot of they don't have dogs as pets. They have dogs as
But that shouldn't stop other people taking their dogs to the country, because there are some people there who don't like dogs.
There are a lot of as we know, and
hold that thought,
there are a
guys.
lot of very badly behaved dogs.
See you next time.
So both of them are claiming that effectively there's too many dogs in the country. They have too much public access. There's too many places that they are allowed to go now. Too many restaurants, bars, pubs, public spaces are making dog available spaces, and that is a problem because it upsets certain people, it offends certain people. Now, the BBC try and claim that is people who have real fear of dogs, that are terrified of dogs. And yes, I know those people are out there. How many of them is it? Not that many, probably. The woman that then commentates on GB News, who, if you've seen anything of her before, is pretty much on the very left wing of politics in pretty much all of her views, actually comes out and names it. They're talking initially about the countryside and about the countryside being too white. And one of the problems that the countryside is too white is because it has lots of dogs in it, apparently, and therefore people of colour, and she names the word Muslim people, who have an issue with dogs, don't want to go to the countryside because of it. So my question to you is this really about the dogs, or is it about something else? Is it about another group? Is it about pressure applied by a particular other group who are very anti-dog, who do have an issue with dogs, who do have an issue with people having pet dogs, who regard them as yet another animal that's unclean? Who could that group be? Well, I'm not going to name them because I don't want to get myself banned, but we all know exactly what we're talking about. The lady names them. It's the religion of peace, isn't it? Why is there an agenda against dogs? We have been a nation of dog owners forever, pretty much. 1 in 3 households have a dog. Many have more than one dog. We also have working dogs on all of our farms across the country. It is a national passion of ours. But now, to accommodate a growing group within the country, apparently the dogs are the problem. I don't believe that's the case. And I will not be making any allowances regarding my dog about where it goes, where I take it, what I do with it to accommodate other people, I'm afraid. It's just the way it is. So let me know your thoughts. Do you own a dog? Are you aware of this growing anti-dog trend? Are you aware of this agenda being pushed in the media? And what do you think is behind it all?
I'm going to say this straight. What I have just seen about puppy farming in the UK is beyond sickening. And before we start this video, I'm going to need you guys to share this out, hit that like, and engage on this video fully so the more people can see this, because this is fucking grim. You see, this isn't just some random rumour anymore. This has been investigated thoroughly. In a recent documentary, an investigator went undercover to expose one of the largest puppy farming operations linked in the UK, which is this. And what they found is not what people think when they go and buy a cute little puppy. mean, you know, we're talking about industrial scale breeding, facilities that could be producing thousands of puppies every single year. And there is reports of hundreds of breeding dogs registered at one single site. Like, this isn't a family breeder. This is a complete corrupt system. What's even more disgusting is because of loopholes, puppies can be bred in places where there is weaker regulations and then transported and sold in England, making it look like everything is legitimate, but that is far from the truth. Honestly, it just angers me to think about it, like dogs being kept in industrial conditions and puppies separated early, shipped and sold and moved like products, you know, not even raised with care and just raised for profit. Now, when you start reading reviews about this place, which I will leave in the comments so you guys can read properly, you know, you start seeing a recurring pattern. People saying that they couldn't see the parents, dogs showing anxiety and aggression, and, you know, some real serious cases where they're being sold different to what they were being told. And it all starts to line up with the factor of, you know, a very corrupt situation. And honestly, right, when you've got multiple people saying the same things, you would be mad not to at least question this situation. So I need your help with this, beautiful people. Like, if you've got any experiences with this, good or bad, drop it in the comments, because the more people that speak, the harder this is to ignore. At the end of the day, these aren't products, these are living animals. Even if a fraction of this is true, something needs to change and something needs to be done about this. So yeah, this is a heavy one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And as always, you know, just for entertainment, beautiful people, I'm a satire account just trying to help humanity and the rest of life, and things that like this need to be exposed. So share it out. And obviously, I'm as fictional as a dinosaur, baby.
There's been a rise of dogs attacking livestock in the UK, and this has prompted new legislation that is now in effect. So if you walk your dog in any areas close to livestock, you better listen up. From March the 18th, 2026, in England and Wales, not Scotland or Northern Ireland yet, but in England and Wales, if your dog worries or attacks any type of livestock, you could face unlimited fines and up to 12 months in prison. Police can now seize your dog and take it away from you, and they can also enter your premises to look for evidence. These are the types of animals that the law covers when they talk about livestock. It is cattle, sheep, goats, swine, horses, camelids, which are llamas and alpacas, farmed deer, enclosed game birds, or poultry. So if you are walking along roads, paths, rights of way, passing through farmland, fields, you have to be really careful. Now, this law isn't just about dogs attacking. This is about dogs worrying livestock that might cause miscarriage, for example, or even death from stress. So your dog doesn't actually have to make contact in order for it to be seized. This does affect the dog training industry, because for years, the different camps in the industry, the positive camp and the more balanced to punitive camp, have argued voraciously about how to teach dogs a recall. The positive camp says, I don't need a shock collar to recall my dog.
Blighty's not going to the dogs, though the dogs seem to be doing just fine. It's the feeling around everything that's changed. Simple things becoming complicated, normal things becoming debated, common sense becoming optional. Meanwhile, bigger problems carry on in the background. Cost of living, housing, services, all getting worse while we argue about leads in the park. Feels like rearranging the dog basket while the house needs fixing. While we have uninvited guests. We've always been a country that absorbed change, but also held on to a sense of itself. If we are given enough time, that is, and the newcomers are willing to adapt too. That balance matters. Because if everything familiar gets questioned, people start wondering what's left. Cheerio to all you fellow dog lovers, and I will see you all in the next video.